Hello and welcome to I Want to Grow, and I Want to Grow is all about that. We all want to grow, right? But this is a special occasion because we're celebrating 90 years of the British Council, and that's some going. They've created so many ripples that are helping people all over the globe. In fact, it's not ripples, it's actually waves now, the way that they're helping people. Today, we've got a very special guest, and we're going to be talking about the British Council. Mr. Fahad, thank you very much for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's an absolute pleasure because I've been a big fan of yours. Please tell everybody what you do, your name and what you do.
My name is Fahad bin Mohammed 𝗚𝘂𝗀𝘁. I am currently a diplomat working at the Foreign Service, Foreign Ministry of Qatar. I served my country as ambassador to the Court of St. James, and I was also a non-resident ambassador to Republic of Ireland, Iceland. Prior to that, I had one mission as ambassador as well to Moscow. I was ambassador to the Russian Federation. I was also non-resident ambassador to Finland and Estonia. That sums up my two missions that I've done, the UK and Russia. I also run a foundation called Caravane Earth Foundation, which is a non-for-profit which focuses on social, cultural, and ecological transformation through four main programs: architecture and urbanism, or let me restate this: traditional architecture and urbanism, organic agriculture and food, handmade natural textiles, and the creative and intellectual. And this foundation operates in different jurisdictions around the world, and we aim to support the transition to the crafts economy wherever we are.
Where do you hide your time machine? Because how can you fit all of this into 1 month?
A good thing is when you have good colleagues and teams that are there to help you and support you, it matters a lot. So I'm very blessed to have surrounded myself with fantastic colleagues who have rendered all the support that I needed to get the vision out.
This is just the type of person that I see you as, because I've seen you, I've met you several times, and you're the most unassuming with all those positions that you hold. You're one of the nicest, humblest guys I've ever met, and for somebody that holds your positions, that's rewarding, right? It's so nice to see. It's an absolute pleasure, and to see what you're doing with your farm as well is breathtaking. You really have done wonders.
Well, I'm glad you managed to come to the farm and see it for yourself, and I invite all your listeners, all the people who will plug in to make a visit to Heenat Salma Farm, a farm that we have established for it to become a home for all those seeking to see sustainability manifest in the different areas like architecture, agriculture, the intellectual and creative. All these things are manifested in the farm.
Yeah, it's so striking that that's what you love. But I think the way that you've created this farm is because of your time as the ambassador, you're bringing all these cultures together where everybody can celebrate the sustainability, the farm that you've got there, because it's so peaceful. There's trees, there's birds singing, there's animals, there's plenty of crops it's growing. It's just breathtaking.
Absolutely, and it reminded me that part of my career in government, I was for 5 years the head of the National Food Security Program. So I managed under the auspices of His Highness the Emir. He instructed for the development of a master plan, which I had the privilege of overseeing. Also, I was part of the team that delivered COP18, the climate conference. So all these different experiences kind of culminated in the actions that I personally carry. I think every human being has to have some kind of a North Star that they follow, something that goes beyond their immediate job description that they have in whichever organization. I describe it as one's meta job description in life. You know, what are you doing beyond the narrow scope of work that you have in whichever organization that you might be attached to, and it's in my view is to bring harmony between man and nature. And so it's very important to keep connected to nature, and hence the emphasis I make on looking at the urban landscape and trying to integrate within it natural elements in getting people to understand where their food comes from, and in connecting the youth, more specifically children, to nature. I grew up close to nature, and I feel that younger children today don't have that chance, which is a great loss, because it's through that engagement with nature that your imagination starts to shape. The power of that imaginative capability starts to develop, and if you're not engaged with nature, that power of imaginative capability starts to diminish, because everything is packaged for you ready by somebody else, and so you're not employing that innate powers within you to allow yourself to imagine things, to find solutions to problems and whatnot. So that's why the farm is so important to me personally, but it's also important as a source of life, because without food we would not exist. It's to get people to understand and value the importance of people who work in the space of agriculture. I think we take that for granted. It's only 1% of global population that feeds all the rest of us. So the question is, what if they tomorrow decide not to go to the field? What will be of us? How we will be able to feed ourselves. I think it's important to get more people to work in the agricultural space, hence why we've opened it to the public. Most farms are not accessible to the public, and that probably drives people away from thinking of agriculture as a career. But if you make agriculture interesting, exciting, enticing, economically feasible, something that people see themselves through as a rewarding profession, then I think you would not have a better opportunity to work in an environment than to work with nature, because it just soothes the soul. It provides you with a livelihood, and it makes you feel that you're contributing to the well-being and development of your countrymen.
I think just a nation, right?
Correct.
And it's the nation with everybody in it, because I've been there too. I've got a saying that I say to people on a regular basis, and especially if they're going through a tough time, I look up to them and say, when was the last time you had time to listen to the birds sing?
Right.
When was the last time? And they say, oh no, it's summer here. They fly off for the summer period. And I'm saying, no, you're just so busy in your life that you're just not hearing them sing. And I say, take a listen. And they listen, and they can hear the birds singing.
Precisely.
And that's what I love about your farm, because it's encouraged them there to come from a sightseeing perspective in the first instant. And that's what I did. I went there because I heard some really great messages from different people about what you've done there, and I went to visit myself, and there's just a nice warm feeling, and you can go there, you can enjoy the organic foods that you've grown, and you can see to what standard your chefs have cooked all the produce to. That's the first start of this journey. I met 3 or 4 different people when I was there, and then we start talking about other different things, and then you realize what you're trying to do there, and it's bringing us. Now I've been there, I've literally been there 3-4 times, because it's one of those experiences. So that's the wonderful side of it, but it does have a really major impact, because no AI is going to be able to take over that, and it's
virtual environment.
Nothing is going to take over that.
Absolutely.
Nothing. So fantastic. But if I go back to your, if I talk about the being an ambassador,
Yeah.
especially with the UK. And I've got a question here can we talk about your role as the ambassador to the UK and how it was in enhancing and developing the Qatar-British relationship?
I mean, let me start by saying it was a fantastic experience that I've had, and honored and privileged to have served my country as ambassador to the UK, and I could not have wished for a better experience. I mean, the hospitality, the welcoming, of the British people, the environment that was friendly to Qatar, and the history that we share. I mean, I keep reminding people that the first treaty that was signed between the two countries was in 1868, and that tells you how far back relationships go, and that's just the signing of it, which means that there has been engagements prior to that. And today the UK stands to be the #1 destination for Qatari tourism. It stands to be also amongst the top 3 countries where our foreign investment is placed. I would think it's #2 even. The Qatar is home to the 2nd largest British expatriates in the Gulf. The GCC as a whole is the 3rd largest trading partner with the UK. English is the 2nd spoken language in Qatar. The British institution represented in the Crown itself has become a symbol that transcended the UK, and many people here find that traditional aspect of Britain to be very exciting, and it's part of their it's kind of part of their story and journey. You know, seeing the royal household, the pound and the power of the pound and what it represented for each and every child of us when we held the first coin. It has that unique texture and aesthetic to it. The London cab, the buses, the red buses, the parks, and so on and so forth. So there is a lot to celebrate between Qatar and the UK. And I really didn't have sort of much to worry about when I traveled to the UK, because it felt like going home. And I'm grateful to all the support that I've received from the British government, the Foreign Service, the British Ambassador here in the country, and all the friends that I've developed, the friendships I've developed over my lifetime engaging with the UK. I studied there myself. My kids were born there, and it has been a splendid experience, and I hope that it will stay that way, and it will just develop from strength to strength.
I do see, I've been here 16 years now, and I do see the special relationship that we've got with Qatar, with the UK, the British, being British. But I see so much of the British Council from 1972.
Right.
They've been, I had one lady, and I'm never going to forget this. I had a lady that's working with a really high profile job now. And she was saying that that the British Council was, when she was 7 years old, she can still remember the certificate that she got. And ever since then, she's been working with the British Council, sorry. That's a staggering.
I'd imagine probably the whole nation have gone through somehow, one way or the other, through the British Council. I mean, I remember doing my IELTS tests with the British Council when I was about to be posted to the UK. The British Council has been present in our lives through the cultural programming that they have run. It's probably the best soft power tool the UK has developed for internationally.
Yeah.
And I congratulate the British Council on its 90th anniversary. And
I'm really proud of them. I'm so proud of them, honestly.
It's such an achievement to come thus far and look back and see all the achievements that they've done, not only in Qatar but all over the world. So they have done quite a bit in Qatar since they were created, and it's probably the most well-known cultural and educational center in the world.
It probably, yes, yeah, very proud. I wish I would have used them as an example so many more times, but I've been blessed this couple of weeks to really know what differences they made. And when I say the ripples that they create, they're not ripples anymore; they're waves.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're waves. One of the things that I was going to ask you is some of the projects that you've worked on with the British Council and how much they meant to others.
We worked on signing the education collaboration between Qatar and the UK. We worked on participating in the education forums that the UK has hosted. Our delegations were led by the Ministry of Education. We worked on collaborating on transfer of skills and knowledge between the British system and our system. Especially when it comes to skills development. This is now the next big thing. So at the government to government level, the British Council has facilitated many of our engagements with the various educational institutions in the UK, and thanks to them that now we have all these collaboration frameworks exist. Yeah, alumni and the amount of students that, choose the UK to be their destination of choice for education dwarfs every other destination by many multiples, which to my colleagues working in different countries, they say, why aren't we getting the lion's share? But the UK gets the lion's share in terms of students wanting to go and study there. The barriers are pretty low in terms of the first barrier would be the cultural barrier, the language barrier. Most people speak the language, but also most people think that they know the UK far more than they would know other countries, given the soft power that the UK has projected through not only the British Council, but your pop culture, your music, and so that kind of created a familiarity of the UK to the people here, which makes people, parents more specifically, feel more confident and secure to send their children to the UK than to send them to other places where they think that they have less knowledge about. So, the British Council deserves credit. For facilitating all of that.
It's true, because I've got many Qatari friends, and what they say to me, it wasn't so much about the education. They got their education, but it was about the families they normally stayed with.
Precisely.
And how many people have still got those bonds, even after many, many years.
Yeah.
They're still friends. And in most cases, they'll be spending some time of the year together. So it's phenomenal. But you talk about agriculture and urban planning. I didn't realize how much that was such a big thing, and how much they've done here with bringing cultures together from the UK.
Like the Year of Culture between Qatar and the UK, and the wonderful and extensive programming that took place thanks to Great Britain campaign and the British Council facilitating all these different activations, which if the British Council didn't exist, it'd be hard to showcase them or even celebrate the British culture here in Qatar, or vice versa, the Qatari culture in the UK.
Yeah, definitely. You 100%. We had the Philharmonic Orchestra in here about how the British Council has had a relationship with them.
Yeah.
The list goes on, and artists and composers and different things that culture is being passed on through them putting people together, through the British Council putting those together. It's phenomenal. And I really am really proud of what they've done. Really proud. In saying this, how do you see the British culture helping with all the stuff that you're involved in? How do you see them helping in what you're going to be doing in the future?
Well, the British are known to be amongst the best gardeners in the world. So I often engage with many friends and partners in the UK about how to improve farming practices in Qatar. I like to attend the Chelsea Flower Show.
Beautiful.
It's a premier show for every gardener interested in seeing how the British celebrate their gardening skills. And I think, we do import products from the UK as well, meat and different crops, from Welsh lamb, for instance,
Yeah.
and others. So, and I think you have technologies, whether it's related to solar power, automation, AI, all these things that can be applied in increasing our efficiency in agriculture, improving the productivity of water usage, supporting the soil. The UK is home to the Soil Association. Soil Association, for those listeners who are not familiar with it, it's the oldest association that supports organic farming in the world. It takes Bristol as its headquarters, and if you've gone to any of the UK supermarkets and found organic produce, you will find that symbol, beautiful symbol on them that says the Soil Association. That's to ensure that the product that you have is certified by the organization. Now, the Soil Association have managed to do incredible amount of transformation throughout the 75 years that it had existed, and of course His Majesty the King has been a great inspiration for that transformation. But that's the kind of expertise and knowledge that the UK could share with a country like Qatar in extending the technical knowledge, the know-how of how we can also manage our organic farming growth and development. So I have had fantastic engagement with the Soil Association and have invited them several times to engage with Qatari officials. And there are now talks, and hopefully these talks will transpire into partnerships between various Qatari entities and the Soil Association. So the connection on agriculture, on sustainability, on environmental stewardship is strong, and I hope that it will translate into concrete support, mutual support and partnership between the various parties, especially, for instance, Kew Garden, which is one of the best botanical institutions in the world. And also I have visited was it in Wales? No, it was in Cornwall. I visited the Eden Project.
Yeah, yeah.
And I found that to be fascinating, especially when it comes to the educational dimension. And perhaps the British Council could also look at the Eden Project as something that could be, exported.
Good point. Yeah.
To the Middle
Yeah,
East.
of course.
But I would say to Qatar more
Of that
specifically.
size, that would be pretty good.
I know that they're expanding the Eden Project in different jurisdictions around the world. They're also building one in Scotland. So it'd be good to get the British Council to think about perhaps having the Eden Project or partnership between Kew Garden and some of our educational institutions. I'm floating these ideas so people can listen to them.
You're the best person to be floating them because you're one of the leaders when it comes to farming here in Qatar, and what you've managed with your farm. It's like going into an oasis.
So in a nutshell, the UK has a lot that it can offer to the rest of the world. And I think the British Council, like many other export-related institutions, can facilitate for that to for these wonderful innovations, solutions, processes to be exported, and Qatar would be more than delighted to have some of them here.
We'll keep this to ourselves so
Sure.
that we can
Well,
use it as a business.
By all means.
In saying all of this, what would be your, because you've given some wonderful insights and wonderful ways of moving forward, especially agriculture. What's the message for the British Council going forward? What would be your advice?
Keep going, expand your outreach, and do the great work that you've been doing all along. We believe that this is the best form of getting people to understand one another. We have a Quranic verse that says, we have created you from tribes and nations for you to know one another, not for you to fight one another, not for you to despise one another, but for you to know one another. And I think that goes to the essence of the role the British Council is doing, is that it's building these bridges for cultures and people to know one another. And there's nothing, I would say, that could stand parallel with that role. So to the British Council, to the people who stand behind it, I say congratulations for reaching 90, and we wish you another 90 years of growth and success, with more people getting to know the UK, its culture, its people, through the wonderful work the British Council does.
Wonderful, wonderful words. I've got one difficult question for you at the end. If there was one word that could say what the British Council represents, what would it be?
Excellence, I would say. British Council stood as an organization of standard, of excellence, and of knowledge. It's a hub of knowledge, and so it had contributed to the growth and well-being of many individuals around the world, and I think there's a lot of gratitude to be made to the work that the British Council has done.
Mr. Fahad, thank you so much for being a guest today.
Thanks for having me.
Your words were wonderful. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you very much.